In this and the next two lessons, we're going to be talking about the linked list data structure. And to help me describe what a linked list is, I brought up the wiki page for linked list. And as you can see, a linked list is a series of nodes, that's what these boxes represent, that are linked together with a pointer, so that the pointer of one node points to the next node in the chain, or in the list, if you want to think about it that way. So that, in this example, 12 points to 99, 99 then points to 37, and then finally 37 is the last item in the list, so 37 points to a special node called a terminator. Now, in my implementation, I'm not going to use a terminator node, I'm going to use just the value null to represent the end of the list. So a linked list is a series of nodes that are connected by pointers. So nodes have two fields, a data field and what's called a next field that points to the next node in the list. So now let's see how to implement the node class. We'll stop this lesson, and in the next lesson I'll demonstrate how to use the node class to build our linked list. So to make the node class, we start off class node. In this particular implementation, everything is going to be public, the fields and the member functions. The first thing we're going to do is create a field for our data. We'll make it string. Then the next thing we have to do is create a next field, and that's a node pointer, because next points to the next node in the list. So that's why that field is typed as node and its name is next. And it's a pointer because we need to have the pointer to be able to move from one node to the next in the linked list. The next thing we're going to do is create our constructor, and it will consist of two pieces of data, or two parameters. A data, which is a string parameter, and then a node pointer, and we'll call it a next. And then all we do is assign the parameters to their fields. We need a way to retrieve the data from a node, so we have a getData function. And the last thing we need is a function that returns the next node in the list. So we're going to call it next also, but notice we use a capital N to differentiate it from our field, lowercase n, next. And this function simply returns the next field from our node class. So that's all we need to implement the node class. And so to review, a linked list is a series of nodes connected to each other by pointers which point to the next node in the list. I should also mention that there are more than one kind of linked list. The type we're looking at is called a singly linked list. But there's also a doubly linked list where each node not only has a pointer to the next node, but it also has a pointer to the previous node. And then there's also a linked list called a circularly linked list, where the last node, rather than pointing to a terminator or null, points back to the first node in the list. But we're going to just implement the singly linked list. And now we're ready to move to the next lesson, where we're going to begin our linked list